Hey everybody, and welcome back to more Tenchu Time of the Assassins. This briefing summarizes the events from the previous video, that Ayame escaped, that dude Yagu told her that Rikimaru is being held captive by Onikage, that whole bit with the mind's eye, etc., etc. That mind's eye bit has nothing to do with the gameplay. I don't know if it has anything to do with the story or not. And apparently Yagu has a brother, which we will meet later on in this video. And as you can imagine, assassinate him. Yeah, he's not a nice person. Not a whole lot of spoilers there. Most people in this series aren't nice people. Maybe Kiku, maybe Goda. To a point, Rikimaru and Ayame, but they do kill people for a living, so it's hard to really call them nice people. Granted, they kill evil people, so that's something. Alright, so we are trying to make our escape. We got out of the cave, but now we need to make our way back to Goda's land. Be really careful going through that area. There's an innocent person, and she spotted me multiple times doing this. So I kept having to restart as I'm going for Grandmaster rankings. It's kind of easy to get lost here. We're in a wooded area. This is actually one of the better environments in the game. There are a lot of wooded areas in this game, but I kind of like this one the best. This or the final mission for Ayame. Take it! I feel like there's less issue with the draw distance, since there's more stuff in the environment. So that helps. It's still not an incredibly beautiful area, but it's something at least. Also be careful going through here because you can stumble on enemies. Whereas we are supposed to be the ones the enemies stumble into. But they never know we're there. There's our next victim. Ah, now we play the waiting game. And everybody's wait is over. Ours and his. Look at it this way, buddy. You don't have to worry about your mortgage anymore. All your worries are gone. You know, positive thinking about death. You gotta look on the bright side of things. If you don't, you're just going to be angry all the time like me, and that's no fun. Trust me. Haha! I do love that sneaking through these areas and the enemies never knowing that we're there. That's pretty fun. This next area took me quite a while to find. Fortunately, with save states, the editing was a lot easier to deal with. But if we come through here, we will find our next baddie. I think you can jump over some of those walls to our right. I discovered that later on, which could have made traversing this area a lot easier. I may not be taking the best route to get through here, I'm not really sure. I completed this level twice, and I'm pretty sure I took a different route my first go around. I didn't record any of that, it was just a test play. Oh, buddy, I'm just glad you didn't eat my rice ball. I need that for more unsuspecting foes that can succumb to my will. We are using a lot more items in this playthrough than we did as Rikimaru. We also have a lot more boss fights than Rikimaru got. On one hand, it's kind of a good thing because I really don't like the combat in this game. Really, in Tenchu as a whole, the combat isn't very fun, but I really don't like it in this game because I don't know of a lock-on option. I think if there was a lock-on option, that would improve things a lot. In order to face forward, you have to crouch down. And if you're fighting somebody and that somebody is not in front of you when you crouch down, then your camera is still not looking at them, and it gets kind of annoying to try to manage this annoying camera and fight enemies. So here I went and explored and killed a bunch of enemies. I did that off screen because this is the direction we actually need to go. I wasn't sure if you could just not get spotted and still get a Grandmaster ranking. You can climb over that wall and kill another enemy if you want. I did just for the points and the satisfaction of killing another enemy. Now let's go face the boss. Mafuyu, why the fuck are you being such a bitch? You have a choice, whether to return to your cell or I kill you right now. I've got no reason to fight you. Maybe you don't, but I definitely do. Why are you working for Onikage? Can't find a rich boyfriend? I see you have made your choice. This conversation is not necessary. Alright then. You wanted this. You're a fool, but that's fine. Oh yeah. Time for us to send Mafuyu to the grave! That crouch attack, if it lands, is pretty effective against the boss. And you can see what I was talking about with the combat here. I realize I'm not good at this combat. I know that's part of it, plus my bad eyesight and lack of depth perception. But when you do that attack, then you can go do a slam attack for more damage. I like that combo. I'm pretty sure people in Japan did not say on guard. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's not a thing.
There you are.
Oh yeah, and bosses can lose you. I think I've talked about that before. Lots of grunting. I wanted to perform another finisher, but it wasn't necessary. Don't worry, I will be reading this. Why are you involved in this? Onikage is like my Chad or Tyrone. He wanted it, so I'm making it happen. You're seriously going to trust a piece of crap like Onikage? For my father, if I could get to Goda, I could carry out his last wish. You know you're an idiot, right? Onikage never has good intentions. He'll just use you. I finally understand. My whole life has been darkness. And he was my light. Mafuyu, just stop. It's not worth it. I live by the sword and I will die by the sword. No regrets. Now hurry, Onikage's men are headed towards Goda Castle. Mafuyu!
Onikage!
I should have brought her darkened soul into the light! Bonus points if you get that reference. That may not have been an exact quote. I think it is, but I could be wrong. Either way, let's go on to the next mission. This text confirms that Mafuyu was being manipulated by Onikage, something to do with her late father. I'm not sure if he was promising to bring him back from the dead, if she helped him, or what. It also summarizes the rest of that conversation that she mentioned to Ayame that Onikage was going to be attacking Goda's land. Ayame decides to surprise attack the enemy troops before they can get to Goda. And for such an army, it's a surprising few number of dudes, which is kind of weird. Although if they are ninjas, that might explain it. Doesn't anything seem unusual to you? What are you on about this time? Something about this plan to start a war. It doesn't feel right. Don't tell me you're backing out. You! How the hell? Tell me about all of your friends. I want to know each and every one of them. With my blades. He'll kill me if I tell you. Alright, fine then. So the gimmick of this mission is we need to kill everybody in this area. Except innocents, of course. Why there are innocents in this area, I have no idea. This area also has a fair amount of water. Hence why I put ocean sound effects in the background. Because this game can't be bothered to put background ambience in these levels. To be honest, I'm surprised there's music. Uh-oh. You need to get out of here. Oh shit. I get spotted a lot in this mission. I think there's a glitch, because I don't think I got spotted nearly as many times as it says I did. I read a comment on another video of somebody saying they were listed as having been spotted a bunch of times, even though they weren't. So I'm not sure what the dealio is with that. But you would think since these guys are invading Goda's land, they would have killed any innocent people by now. There are at least 2 or 3 of them in this level. I wish they had more torches or candles to explain why the area around us is so light. Although I think I just saw one as I was running up to this dude. That's one thing the first Tenchu did a really good job of. The lighting in the level was based off of the environment, having candles, torches, stuff like that.
Someone's there.
And you'll never know who. You dick. This next part took me forever to figure out where to go next. But there's a dude here. Oh yes, friends, and we also have a time limit to do this. I forgot to mention that. It's a pretty forgiving time limit, but it's a time limit nonetheless. Damn it. Luckily I hit the crouch button, so I didn't make a whole lot of noise when hitting the water. Either that or it was just really shallow. One of the two. Actually, it was really shallow. You can see the water doesn't look particularly great in this game. Although no worse than the water in the first game. At the time, I figured, well, it's just what water looks like in PS1 era games. And then I saw Soul Reaver, which changed my mind. There's an area where you have to jump from wood beam to wood beam. Take it! And there's a really cool effect showing the reflection of light from the environment on the water. Something that you see pretty commonly in modern games, probably even from PS2 onward. Definitely PS3 onward. But not something I expected in a PS1 game. There was at least one more PS1 game where I was really impressed with the water, but I can't think of what it was. The water in Tenchu 2 might have looked okay. I can't remember. This mission took me forever to do. It's one of the reasons I love using save states for this LP. Makes life a lot easier. There should be another dude over here. Hello, sir. Would you like a date? Unfortunately for you, that date will not be with Ayame. It will be with her blades! Oh, that was a man. Well, whatever. Either way, that's the last date you will ever have. You cunt. She's an invading ninja that's going to kill a lot of people, so I think calling her a cunt there is pretty fair. Haha! I've complained a lot about this game, and rightfully so, but it is fun. I've come back and said that several times too. It's been ages since I've played Tenchu, until I've done this LP. And it's so satisfying sneaking around and taking out your foes. Now if you have to face them one-on-one, not so much. But I talked about that already. I really miss this series. Unfortunately, the only other two games that I have do not play like typical Tenchu. One of them we will probably get to. The other one we will not be playing. It looks terrible. It's a DS game, and it's black and white. It looks pretty awful, actually. But there's another one for the PSP. It was also released for the Wii. I believe that is the most recent Tenchu game. The furthest in the timeline that we got. Good night, sunshine! I can't call her Sunny Jim because it's a chick. Chicks can't be Sunny Jims. Ah! Hold it, you're not getting away. You bitch. Hey, you, where's your boss? You mean Lord Janai? Janai? What about Onikage? Lord Janai's orders are absolute. Alright, thanks. Oh yeah. Ayame, she doesn't put up with shit. They don't want to tell her what she needs to know, then she'll just take care of them. Another mission down. Another item unlocked. Let's go ahead and head off to the next mission. Some rocking music there, too. This text summarizes the previous cutscene. The only new information is that the guy in charge of these forces is Onikage's subordinate. And it mentions that Ayame is going to go after him. Of course, you can pause these if you want to read them, but why bother when I already summarized it? The music in the next area is pretty cool. I talked about it in a previous video. It's from Wrath of Heaven. I could not find another way to get this guy without using one of these chameleon spells. I tried. He will never turn around. He's always looking forward, which is good on him as a guard, but it makes playing the game kind of difficult. So I'm not sure how else you deal with that guy. Maybe the poison rice would work. Actually, that would definitely work. Tenchu Stealth Assassins, which is the first game, and Wrath of Heaven easily have the two best soundtracks in the series. A lot of people say that Tenchu always has good soundtracks. I want to say that I agree with that, but really I just agree with that with those two games. I don't remember liking Fatal Shadow's soundtrack very much, and Birth of the Stealth Assassins had no soundtrack. Except a remix of the boss battle theme from the first game, which was pretty cool. For some reason, the created missions had music, which we've heard a lot in this LP. But the actual missions themselves had no music. If I redo that LP, which I'm thinking I want to do, I would probably look around and see if I could find some copyright-free music to add to those missions, just to make it sound a little better. But that's neither here nor there. I hate these stupid spears. They keep me from picking up other items that I want, and I'm not going to use them. It is weird how you get a lot of items in these games, and they're not really that useful. Most of the time they're only useful when you get spotted, and the goal is to not get spotted. Granted, you do have boss fights, so some of those items do come into play during those boss encounters. Turn around. Normally I cut stuff like this, but I like the soundtrack, so I'm leaving it in. Thank you. That's all I wanted, was for you to turn around so I could kill you. I don't think that was asking too much. You would think they would have more items to help you sneak. The chameleon item is pretty useful, and the poison rice is useful. I showed that off earlier this video. I will be getting more use of that item next video. Well, chap, you're about to have a date with the afterlife. Run. Ha! So I assume we are invading Janai's fortress. I may be pronouncing that guy's name wrong. I don't really care. I did the best I could. Sounds like somebody saw a body. I kind of like how they say, "Who did this?" Pretty funny. I don't think that's what you would say if you saw a body on the ground. I could be wrong. I would be a little concerned considering I live alone. So if suddenly I walked into my living room and saw a dead body on the ground, I'd be wondering, who the fuck is this person? Why were they even in my place? Then I would probably get to, why are they dead? Those are the valuable questions you have to ask whenever you find dead bodies in your home. I ordered an item off Amazon to dust out my new computer. I want to properly maintain this thing. I want it to last a long time. The item was listed as delivered on the 14th of December. It's the 18th now. So I contacted the seller, because I never received the item. And they asked me to check with other members of the household. I informed them that I live alone. There are no other members of the household to check with. Just the annoying bits from ordering stuff online. It's very convenient when it works out, but sometimes it can get annoying. Fortunately, I don't need this item yet. But still, I placed the order. I would like to have my item already. This guy was a little bit annoying to try to kill. That's what you get for standing around doing nothing. I do find that funny that a lot of guards in Tenchu are just walking around a room in the same pattern. I don't know if they could fix that now. Having enemies doing stuff rather than just pacing around. The dudes on the outside or dudes walking hallways I could understand. If they are guards, they probably have a set patrol path. But the dudes just hanging out in a room, you would think they would be doing something else. I understand with the early Tenchu games the limitation of the hardware for the PS1 and PS2, and even this console, or handheld in this case. I would be interested if they made another Tenchu game if they could come up with something else for the enemies to be doing. So they're all not just patrolling. That's what you get! You get? It's too bad. Missed opportunity. For this playthrough, I really should have looked into some Japanese insults so that I could insult these people properly. I don't know any words in Japanese, unfortunately. I don't know how to not get spotted here. Fortunately, we can take this guy out. Come on, buddy. This took a few tries. Not a problem getting rid of this guy, but as you can see, somebody gets alerted right away. I just had to live with it. I have no idea where that person is. Annoying, but oh well. We'll still get the Grandmaster ranking, so it's not a big deal. I don't feel like that's a spoiler. This isn't all Grandmaster run, which I've never done with Tenchu before. I don't think. I might have gone for all Grandmaster rankings with Stealth Assassins. It's been ages. Turns out we've already been here before. So we probably could have skipped a fair portion of the level, but you wanted to see more of the level, right? Right? Sure you did. This reminds me a little bit of this underground area in Tenchu 1, Mission 9, this castle, which I avoided. That can be a really quick mission if you know what to do. And it's funny because the devs try to avoid you being able to just climb up the castle, but you can still make it work. That took a lot of waiting as well. I was trying to get a stealth kill animation, but I couldn't get one to come up. So finally I just had to live with it and move on. Sometimes it's the price that we pay given bad camera angles or bad enemy placement. There should be a dude coming up here. And now he's dead! That is so fun to do. I miss that. We don't get that anymore in games. Being able to just sneak around and stealth kill people. You could kind of do it in the Uncharted games. At least in 4 I know you could. I think to an extent you could in 2 and 3. But it wasn't a well-defined stealth system. To be fair, those games weren't really very well-defined gameplay-wise anyways. They weren't awful usually, but they weren't great either. I still like the games, but they could have used some more time in the oven. Here's a rice ball. Now we get to wait on this person to come over and pick it up. And we will be waiting. Oh, a while. I didn't put any background ambient sound effects in this area because I couldn't think of anything that would work. And since this one actually has a decent soundtrack, it didn't really bother me too much. Hurry, get the rice ball! Enjoy your stay in hell. Oh, looks like someone's up for a little fun. Let's just say I'm not the most patient person right now. You're from the Azuma Ninja Clan, aren't you? Janai, I presume? I see you've heard of me. You have an uncanny resemblance to your brother. Are you twins? You will find that my skills are not as clumsy as his. Just stand down. I don't have time to waste on the likes of you. You really ought to reconsider your decision. That is, if you want to save Rikimaru. You know, you could have mentioned that earlier. He's still not giving us information, so we are going to have to fight him. Oh yeah, it's on, bitch! It's on! I hate you. The best thing I can say with the combat in this game, if you can perform one of those crouch attacks and then do one of those finishers, that seems to be a pretty good strategy. Just take your lumps. Like a man. Or a little bitch, whatever, I don't really care. Where's Rikimaru? If I were you, I'd be more concerned about myself. Shut up and tell me where he is. I guess I'll shut up then. I expect a rematch when I see you in hell. I told you I didn't have time to waste on you. Oh hell, been there, done that in the first game. I don't know why these people always have to talk after they get killed. Why can't they just die? Either way, that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Another Grandmaster ranking. And another item unlocked. There it is. Thank you for watching. Next time we will conclude Ayame's campaign.